With Digi-Will and Digivice in hand, is the Digi-Dynamic Force and Digiland. When the Digi-Past and Digi-Present collide, time to Digi-Side. Digimon.
So, it has come to my attention that this week has been 23 years since the first season of Digimon came out to the US, from what I understand. And I've been on a Digimon binge for a week, and this weekend, due to Digimon Survive, been watching that. I probably am gonna get it the next day I get paid, which is gonna be this Friday. So, yeah. Also, I have to remember to get me some Digimon shirts because I don't have any Digimon shirts at all. Like I got this Digimon comforter, but I don't have any Digimon shirts. I have plenty of Pokemon shirts, but not Digimon shirts. Um, but Before we start this, let me just start off by saying this. I know I probably said this in a past video talking about the Digimon dub and the sub and everything, but I'm gonna reiterate this point because I saw it on Twitter. The amount of people still saying that the dub was just so damn bad is honestly stupid. Because, like I said before, I hope I said it before, without the dub, we would know nothing about Digimon. Like, can we just like establish that first? Like, none of us would know anything about Digimon had it not been for the dub shows. Because, contrary to popular belief, back in the day, we did not have internet like that. Okay? We didn't have like Crunchyroll. We didn't have things like these free sites to go on at watch anime freeonline.com or whatever. We didn't have any of that. All right? It was literally just our TV and whether or not we had gotten Fox Kids, because that was where Digimon had started off. And then I want to say it went over to Disney XD. I want to say it went over to Disney XD with Digimon Tamers season 3, and then I think it went somewhere in like the afternoon with Digimon Frontier. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's how I remember it back in the day. I only knew about Digimon from those shows. I didn't know about anything else about Digimon. And after Frontier was when, the internet stuff started to pick up, and we found out about Digimon X Cross and, all of that. But that was after. We didn't have that at all when it came to these anime shows. We did not have that at all. So it really bothers me when people say, "Oh, this is so bad that the Japanese dub is so much better." What else do they say? I don't understand why they even made the dub. It's because without the dub, there would be no Digimon anywhere in the US. None of us would know anything about Digimon until later on, which is prominently around this time. Because now everyone has the internet and streaming services. You can watch it. We know about Digimon Try. We know about the Digimon Adventure Reboot. We know about Digimon Ghost Game. Like, we know about these things. Hell, we even know now that there's going to be a season 2 for Digimon Adventure Try, which is starring the second team. So we know about that because of the internet. Had it not been for that, we wouldn't know jack shit. So I'm just putting that out there. For those of you saying that stuff, you're wrong. You're wrong. The dub is really good. The soundtrack is fire, and the dub characters that they had dubbed over and portrayed great storylines. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's get into this video though. This is about Digimon Last Evolution movie review 10 years later by Billiam. Now I think I want to say I did like a video about on one of the things that he was talking about, but I digress because I don't remember. Let's just jump right on into this.
Yeah, this is Billiam. I don't know if I've made this clear, but I like Digimon. I like it quite a bit. I think Digimon as a series has continued to resonate with me through adulthood because it's always been so real. Not like the giant monsters, that's not too real, but because of its cast of characters. Kids who have family issues, feel pressure to succeed, and have to learn to get along with each other and take on responsibility. These touching character arcs are paired with tiny monsters the kids are partnered to, who transform into increasingly more powerful giant monsters, which creates this great visual representation of the kids' growth. The cool part about the original Digimon series, Digimon Adventure, is it's had many sequels where the audience...
I just want to say this right now. I just got a reply on my phone from the post that I made on Instagram. It was about Digimon, and this guy said, "It's one of my good friends. When this came out, people compared to Pokemon naturally, but IMO Digimon has better human characters since we get to know a lot about them, especially in Digimon Adventure 1." There you go.
has gotten to watch this cast of characters grow up, becoming middle schoolers, then high schoolers, and finally in the latest film entry, Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kazuna, growing up and taking their first steps on into adulthood. While Digimon Adventure had a really solid finale, its sequels haven't really always been the case. The last entry in the series, Digimon Adventure Try, seemed to advocate for this never-ending Digimon Adventure series, where the cast of characters get to go on adventures for years to come. And maybe they did, but like all things in life, that would have eventually come to an end. This film was surprisingly announced pretty close to the end of Digimon Adventure Try, which is kind of funny because Digimon Adventure Try was supposed to celebrate Digimon's 15th anniversary, but it took so long to come out and then conclude that by the time it was over, they were already announcing their project for the 20th anniversary. Well, it's finally out in North America because earlier this year it had its theatrical plans of release here kind of canceled because of the world, but I got to watch it the first day it was out on digital, and I was a wreck. For some reason, I chose to watch this film right at 11 a.m., and, I couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. Yeah, I may have cried, but in reality, that's really no different than any other Tuesday
at 11
a.m. It's a pretty satisfying...
Looks like I'm gonna have to get the DVD of that, if they dubbed it, because it was supposed to come out in the U.S. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to cop that. Oh, and another thing, I noticed that people were talking about, where the rest of the episode of Digimon Adventure Try abridged. It had gotten taken down. I kept trying to upload it, and YouTube was not having it, so that's why. Why, that there's certain spaces in between is because of the fact that YouTube wanted to be a butt. I'm sorry.
Conclusion to the series. It made me ready to say goodbye to these characters, and it had a really interesting storyline that satisfied my desire to see a more grown-up story with these characters. So I'm going to talk about this film and unpack it here because therapy is expensive. Once again, there will not be any major spoilers, but I am going to be breaking down the premise of the plot so I can talk about it a little bit. And speaking of segues, what? As somebody who likes preserving the integrity of my face, when it comes to razors, I only allow the highest quality craftsmanship simply outright video. Just as suddenly as this movie was announced, it's here. They're adults. I'm an adult. Digimon Adventure Try came out right as I was getting ready to go off to college. Just like the characters in that series. And Last Evolution came out right as I'm getting ready to finish my undergrad, just like Ty and Matt. It's almost like this was on purpose. It felt like this movie was announced pretty quickly after Try, but it came just as soon as adulthood came into my life. Last Evolution takes place 11 years after the finale of Digimon Adventure, and sees Matt and Tai, the two focus characters, getting ready to finish college, and not really knowing what they want to do with their lives. Of the other Digi-destined their age, Matt and Tai are the only two still regularly fighting alongside their Digimon partners, using their powers to stop the occasional rampant Digimon who's able to slip into the human world from the digital world. While they get attention in the press as sort of heroes, their lives are a different story. They're lost with less purpose than ever before. Tai is unable to decide on his thesis topic, and Matt thinks he might go to grad school or maybe join Japan's defense forces. He's not really sure. The only thing they're still putting passion into is their Digimon, which is something they're finding less and less time for. It's kind of a bummer. They go out drinking together and try to pawn off watching each other's Digimon so their lives won't totally be inconvenienced when they step into the next chapter. The group from the original series is not as close as they used to be. Tai's Digivice and his iconic goggles sit in a drawer, untouched. Matt is no longer pursuing music, but he misses it.
Oh, wow.
He really misses it. However, they soon find out they will not be able to hold on to their Digimon forever. Tai, Matt, Izzy, TK, and Kari are asked to pursue the mysterious Eosmon. Two researchers from America believe this new Digimon is tied to a global aurora phenomenon, which has been linked to a series of comas affecting Digi-destined around the world. The battle gets tense, so Tai and Matt have Agumon and Gabumon fuse into Omnimon, a powerful transformation the duo only brings out as a last resort. For the first time ever, the fusion breaks. Eosmon gets away, and Tai and Matt notice a ring around their Digivices, which they are told is a countdown to an inevitable fate for all Digi-destined. As Digimon partners grow up, their bond with their Digimon will eventually break, ending their partnership and leaving the Digimon to an unknown fate. With the stress of adulthood and such sad consequences on full display, it's pretty surprising.
Are you fucking serious? So what? Hold on. So, okay. So I'm thinking about this in a sense of me. I'm about to be 31. Are you telling me that I can't have a Digimon because I'm an adult? Dude, no. Come on, man, no. This is making me sad.
A film is able to not be super depressing. If you watched Try and were disappointed by its apathetic tone and stoic characters, you'll be happy with Last Evolution. Despite the darker plot elements, this is still Digimon, and it takes the time to remind us. It also has real stakes. None of that, oh my god, I'm so sad that this building got destroyed, even though no people were hurt, weird melodrama that Digimon Try had. Yeah, it displays a lot of the depressing aspects and worries of adult life, but that doesn't mean there's not fun to be had with it.
What are these things?
This scene is so funny, but it's also honest, and then it's kind of a bummer. As they say in the films, they keep growing up, but the Digimon stay the same. And there is this melancholy tone watching them struggling as adults. This is a story that works really well for its format, an hour-and-a-half film. There is some good moments and life updates with the rest of the cast, but this is a story focused on Matt and Tai, and that's okay. It makes sense that Matt and Tai would be the ones still having trouble deciding what they want to do as adults, and that they'd be the ones who need an extra push to figure it out in a story sense. After Try dragged on for 6 movies and took 3 years to come out, it's kind of a breath of fresh air to see a really tightly written hour-and-a-half movie. It's a good way to wrap things up, and I don't really see myself revisiting Try just for fun, but I can totally see myself watching Last Kazuna alongside the other Digimon Adventure films if I ever needed a little Digimon fix. And while it does touch upon some identical plot lines that Try has, I find it to be more thematically relevant here, and it's executed way better. So I'm not upset about it. If you're gonna go back and try to recycle old ideas, I'm always a fan of going back and retrying something that didn't quite work, rather than trying to top something that did work. While Try is canon, Last Evolution does not pick up the plot threads left by Try, which I think is for the best. It assumes part of its audience is casual viewership. This is a story about the characters, not deep Digimon lore nerd junk. I'll be so okay if I never hear the name Homeostasis or Yggdrasil again. again. The action is good. It's excellent at times, actually, but I do wish they did some more fan service. I don't mean fan service, but I have to admit that opening sequence with Andrew Woolman looking badass as hell made me really happy. I mean more fan service like recreating the original Digivolving sequences. I wanted to see War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. I love seeing the 02 kids have such a prominent role, but show me some more fusions. Show me Pildramon. These are really small things that I kind of just wanted because the film did leave me satisfied. It would have just been nice if they indulged fans just a little bit more right before they asked them to say goodbye, but this doesn't really affect the quality of the film. The film is satisfying and it left an impression on me. It has a good message that I think will resonate with people, especially if they grew up watching Digimon. So if you wanted my recommendation before watching it, go watch it. I also highly recommend that you watch the Sora short that Toei put out as well. There's supposed to be 4 more of these shorts, but there hasn't really been a lot of announcements on whether or not we're ever going to see them in North America officially. Go watch it, then please come back here and watch this, because now it's spoiler time.
Go ahead.
This movie wrecked me. Like that hard cut and they're just gone. The extended cry with no musical score. Realizing Sora already lost Biomon. Seeing Omnimon get up. Oh, but at least we got that jazzy Braveheart rendition. The whistle, Matt's new harmonica. So first, I want to talk about why I think this is a good definitive finale for Digimon.
Wait a minute. So they just disappeared? I'm not okay. 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 I'm not. Fuck you for trying to make it seem like once we become adults, our Digimon just disappear. Fuck you. My Vmon is staying with me till the end. I don't give a damn. He's going with me after death. Y'all can go to hell. Okay? Straight to hell. There's no way they just going to disappear like that. And no, yo. No. I refuse. No. I'm saying no. Just no. Just no. No. No, I don't think so.
Personal takeaways. So Digimon Adventure, Community, Futurama. These things are connected because they all have about 10 different finales. Digimon 02's finale, 1,000,000 points of light, and Digimon Adventure Try's finale, 1,000,000 plot lines might make our series alright, were both very different. Adventure 02 chose to end the series with a time skip, where we saw characters who were so far off and distant from the ones we knew their life decisions seemed out of character. Tai becomes a lawyer, and Matt becomes the first astronaut to land on Mars. Even as a kid, I was like, that's dumb as... Try almost tried to ignore 02's controversial decisions, but Last Evolution wants to make sense of them. For the first time ever, I can sort of see the steps that led to a 20-year-old finale that has left me bitter for 20 years. And not just because Tai and Sora don't kiss. Something that's a little bit more clear than Matt just deciding to go to space one day. You know, that thing we all do at one point or another in our lives. But while the movie is a satisfying ending as a fan, it also has a good message about letting things go and the difficult yet inevitable moment where you have to enter into a new stage of life. Adulthood is here as suddenly as Agumon and Gabumon disappear. We make friends just to get too busy to see them and grow apart. Life gets so chaotic that we don't even have time to notice it, and as soon as we do, everything has already changed. We hear that Digimon grow apart from their partners because as kids grow up, their potential slowly shrinks until it's gone. Matt isn't going to become a rock star. Tai doesn't get to play soccer forever. The final fight is brutal. Seeing Omnimon get destroyed brings back that same feeling of helplessness watching War Greymon and Metal Garurumon get fucked up in our war game. Tai bleeding badly brings this level of danger and desperation. And the whole setting, this pocket dimension where no one has to grow up, no one has to say goodbye to their Digimon, Digimon. Matt, Tai, Gabumon, and Agumon know they have to say goodbye sooner so they can save their friends. Letting go and admitting they have to move on with their lives is what makes that awesome final evolution so worth it. I know some people are going to be asking my opinion of the new Digimon. They're fine. They serve their purpose in the story, and it's a satisfying moment, but I'm not like a fan of the Digimon themselves. I don't hate them or anything. It's just the neutral reaction. At the end of the film, Matt buys a new harmonica and soothes my soul before the inevitable disappearance of the Digimon. And while the film reuses a lot of auditorial and visual iconography from Digimon, this moment is important and not just as a callback. He's not pursuing a music career anymore, but the things we love from our youth will always be there for us to lean on in one way or another. The ending of Zero Two is important to remember because at the end of the film, when Try says, "We'll see each other again someday," we know it's true. Moving on, growing up, entering a new stage of life, it's a scary thing. It feels like we lose our potential as we grow out of childhood because the world seems to get more and more narrow. But there's always room to grow. It just becomes something that we have to take our time to try to find again. I want to learn piano. I want to take an improv class. I want to learn Portuguese. And I don't think I'm going to want to do YouTube forever. I want to start a podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing, and if I fail, I fall down flat on my face in front of 300,000 people. That's a little nerve-wracking, but we're practicing with a watch-through of the new Digimon series over on my second channel. And despite starting off a little rough, we're getting better and better every single episode. And pursuing all of those new interests, that's gonna be hard, but I think I'll do it one day. Just as one day I'll have to make a decision for what my next step in my life is going to be. Digimon was really important to me growing up, and I celebrated and have thoroughly analyzed why I have loved and not so much loved so many of these shows. But in an age of never-ending franchises, it was inevitable there was going to be a time where it wasn't made for me anymore. The new Digimon Adventure reboot series is really fun. It's pretty good, but so far it hasn't gotten real with the kids as much as I would have liked when compared to the original series. But that doesn't mean it's without its own merit, and that doesn't mean it won't be important to kids who are growing up now watching it. The things we loved as kids will always be there for us to lean on, but that doesn't mean we have to indulge in them forever. Moving on, growing up, trying new things, these things are important too. So overall, this movie just really sucked. Like, I really wish they put in some, music from popular 2000s bands. Like, check this out.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Tomorrow, we can...
No. This is where I diverge from that. I understand what he's saying. That is a part of growing up and all this shit, but fuck that. That's society's norm of what we think growing up is letting go of the things that you love and to pursue other things. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. This world has become too far up its own ass for you to just have things disappear like that. I understand the message. You're like nothing lasts forever, and you're right, nothing lasts. But Digimon is important. The Digimon that Tai and the others had were a part of them. And that message was very clear in Digimon Adventure 1 and 2 and Digimon Adventure Try. It was very clear. So I don't understand why this is now all of a sudden a thing. Where because they're so busy with their lives that their Digimon don't mean anything to them anymore. That is bullshit. No. That's complete and utter bullcrap. That's complete and utter bullcrap. I refuse to accept that. Not to say this movie isn't good, because I haven't even watched it yet. And keep in mind, when I do watch this, I'm going to be tearing up just like how Ty is right now. But that right there, I refuse to accept. I refuse to accept that because guess what? I have a job. I have another life, and I know it doesn't mean that I have to indulge in the things that I love in order to stay relevant. I don't have I didn't have to indulge in Pokemon at all. I gave Pokemon a break for like 2 months, but I didn't forget about it. I didn't get so caught up in everything else that all of a sudden I just don't have time for it anymore. What kind of stuff is that? And truth be told, if I did have a Digimon that was sitting right here, that's talking, there is no way I'm just gonna forget about him or not have any time and just completely ditch them. Like that I'm sorry, that scene, that was disingenuous. Y'all just run away while Agumon and Gabumon are just standing there to have, for you and Matt to have a drink? What? 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 And I know there's probably more to it than just that, but that like that was what I saw in the clip. So forgive me for taking it that way, but yeah, that rubbed me the wrong way. Huh? How does that make sense? And there's no way in fuck I'm just gonna have my Digivice and my goggles be in a drawer just because I have my phone. Like, where do we do this at, Ty? Matt, where we do this at? Like, nah, dude. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nah.
So anyways, I've been streaming on the Purple streaming website. The YouTube algorithm doesn't like creators to say in videos their competition. Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That link is...
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Billiam, for your viewpoints on that. I am going to watch it, though. However, that is not going to stop me from, thinking the way that thinking what I just said. Just because someone grows up does not mean that they have to go with this trope. I have to abandon all childish things in order for me to move on and become an adult. Being an adult fucking sucks, first of all. Okay? And since this is only in Japan, this is like in the eye viewpoint of Japan, it's very narrow-minded because that's honestly how what the norm is from what I hear about Japanese people. Like, their job is their life, or they have to quickly gain responsibility and all this other stuff, and just stop doing things from being a kid and whatever. Like, fuck that noise, dude. I'm in America, so I don't believe in that ideology. I think that ideology, sorry, has really made people boring because they felt as though they had to do all these things. Now, I can understand you have kids. I can understand that you have obligations to meet. But if you are in that boat where you have something that you like and enjoy when you were a kid and you still have now, that does not mean that you just all of a sudden have to let it go to go and do other things. That does not mean that you have to completely abandon it just to go and be this adult. I'm sorry, but I just do not agree with that. Not Billiam, but that notion. I just do not agree with it. I just don't agree. I just do not agree. But that's me. Let me know what y'all think down below.
in the comments about this. Thank you guys so much for recommending this. And if you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go support Billiam and his podcast experiment and the purple site that he was talking about. As such, this has been Master of Sakurai. I will see y'all again next time. Y'all have a good day. I'm out. Peace. Hold up. P.S. Because I just scrolled down to notice the comments. This one comment from Horrier. I kid you not. This was a year ago. Well, it was a year ago, but he said it. While this movie doesn't ruin the established canon like some people say it does, I do have a problem with the movie. The whole concept of Digimon partners disappearing because of an arbitrary plot device that was come up for this movie only. Like, we have never had this being mentioned before, and it makes it feel incredibly forced. I know the message of the movie is to tell at some point we need to let go of our Digimon, like our friends, pets, family, etc. But Digimon, both the Mons and series itself, in itself, don't represent that. They represent childhood, dreams, goals, adventure, maturing. When you grow up, these things don't disappear as long as you hold on to them and let them grow with you. As a wise man once said, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. There you go. I'm out of here. This has been Master of Sakurai. I'll see y'all again.